Well, loaded cannon time. What can I say? Another typical Arsenal performance at Old Trafford. Two teams that seemed today to just only play when they were losing, and because of Arsenal's early goal, yeah, we were the ones that were losing for the majority of the game. So for the majority of the game, it just looked like it was United in the ascendancy, had the possession, looking more dangerous. And I'm very frustrated today with the lack of any sort of tactical shift from Mikel Arteta, because it was so clear, it was so obvious for such large parts of that game. From after we scored the goal until United scored the goal, we were awful, absolutely awful. And I thought to myself, come on, like, you've got to change something here. Harry Maguire was taking shots from 25 yards out. And you think to yourself, if he's that high, if he's that comfortable to go that high and to do that sort of thing up the end of our pitch, then, you know, it tells you we're too deep. I'm just absolutely gutted, because, you know, it's typical, isn't it? Bruno Fernandes hasn't scored a goal in 16 games? Ronaldo's been average in the Premier League, he's been all right. You know, Champions League is where he's been doing the business. But when it comes to Arsenal, there we go. It's a gift. I'm just really frustrated by that game. And you look at it and you say, you know, you go into Old Trafford, and because of the history of these clubs, there's always going to be a game. It's like there's a rivalry. There's not a derby, but there's a rivalry there. And it's different to many other games that Arsenal play. And yeah, you know that teams are going to step up for it. United are going to step up for it. Arsenal are going to step up for it. And you look at our team today, and you look at Thomas Partey, who was awful. Aubameyang, absolutely awful. And Nuno Tavares, who I thought was poor. And I just, you know, you can't afford to have, and Ødegaard as well. He scored the goal, obviously, but overall in the penalty, I mean, even aside from the goal and the penalty, his overall contribution wasn't good enough in the game. And you just think to yourself, you need these players to step up. They're all experienced players, apart from Tavares, you know. They're all experienced players. They need to step up. And they just didn't. The lineup raised a lot of questions today, with Elneny starting, Aubameyang, who's been on very poor form, he was starting, Ødegaard, you know, starting as well, Tavares as well over Tierney. A lot of people were, you know, kind of saying you can't drop Tavares, but I think today it showed that Tierney should have been playing. Tavares was poor. The first Ronaldo goal, so United's second goal, he was awful. The touch that he took there, you've got to be like a defender first, and that's what I love about Tomiyasu on the other side. He's a defender first. You need to know that when you're running up the pitch intercepting a ball, if you don't do what you're trying to do perfectly and you keep your momentum going forward, then that's it. There's no one catching them in behind. And then when he did that and he messed up and played a pass to Smith Rowe that kind of took Smith Rowe out of the game as well, obviously he's trying to get the ball and then it's gone past him. Now Tavares is further up the pitch. At least then I'm saying, right, fine, I want a central defender now to bail him out. And Gabriel there, honestly, you have to at some point step to the man with the ball, but instead he's let him come so far into the box. And, you know, I was just very frustrated by that. I'm just really disappointed today, but I have to carry on telling myself that, you know, we had 6 key games. I go on about it all the time, starting from Leicester away. We've done well so far. You know, we've got 12 points so far, I think it is. No, it's not. I don't even know. I can't even keep track anymore. But still, we've done enough. We're on track. We need to go and beat Everton away now. And look at Everton. They have got to be there for the taking, even though I thought that about United in a way. But yeah, I appreciate United are slightly different now. Ole's obviously gone. They're, I don't know, is it new manager balance? Who the hell knows? But United were there for the taking today. What we played today wasn't an impressive team. And I just feel as though it's a real opportunity missed. Why is it that when we went 1-0 up, we just stopped playing? And why is it that as soon as we went 2-1 down, we started playing? And then obviously Ronaldo gets the penalty, and let's talk about that incident. In fact, let's talk about both penalty incidents, because put it in the comments below. Am I being biased here? Yes, it was a penalty for United, but the Maguire drag on Tomiyasu, how was that not a penalty? Put it in the comments below and tell me what you think of that incident, because I don't understand why it didn't go to VAR. I was watching, I'm in the Caribbean right now, I'm in Granada, and lovely day, sun was shining, had a great day in Arsenal, typically ruin a holiday as well. But I couldn't listen to the commentary, the way they were playing it on TV, there was a lot of background noise. I couldn't hear what the halftime analysis was. So help me out here. It seemed like the foul started from outside the box and carried on inside the box. Is that a penalty? I don't even know anymore. What was the analysis saying? Because for me, to me, it looked like a penalty. And the one thing I don't understand that I need help with here, why was that not taken to VAR? You obviously saw the Ødegaard challenge on Fred, which was awful, an awful challenge. He, the referee dragged it back, and rightly so. It went to VAR, even though the ball was still in play and the game had carried on. Obviously got it through in the earpiece. Why did that not happen on the Tomiyasu challenge? The only thing I can think of is that it was from a set piece, so there was a lot going on, whilst this was the only bit of action going on the pitch, so it was blatantly obvious. But how can this stuff not be obvious when you got VAR? It was a clear and obvious error, wasn't it, that the referee missed that drag from Maguire and Tomiyasu, and both of them very similar as well, because on both incidents, the player committing the foul was on the wrong side. Maguire was on the wrong side of Tomiyasu. He has no option but to try and do something. And from that wrong position, when you're not goal side, you can only basically foul the player. And again, with Ødegaard, I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't know what he was thinking. It's Fred, for God's sake, just work harder. Don't dive in. Work harder. Track back. Try and put him off. But instead, he's just such a stupid challenge. And, the inclusions that Arteta picked today did not justify themselves. Aubameyang over Lacazette did not justify itself. Ødegaard did not justify itself. Tavares did not justify itself. El Neni, he did not justify himself in that. And not only were the selections poor, but then, as I say, the tactical tweaks were non-existent, absolutely non-existent. I don't want this to be all negative, so let's talk about some positives. Tomiyasu, he was good. Martinelli, I thought he showed some really good signs. That's it. Is there anyone else really that we can sit here and say had a really good game today? Really frustrates me all the time. Arsenal go to United against poor United teams when clearly there's 3 points on the cards, and we go and play really poorly. And Arteta today has not covered himself in glory, as I say, selections and tactically, has not covered himself in glory. I'm really disappointed. But now we just move. We go Everton away Monday night, and we have to go and win that game to make sure that what has been a very tough run of games spanning from Leicester to Everton, overall we can look at it and say, fine, on balance, Arsenal have done all right there. And if we do beat Everton, then that is the case. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm not going to go on and start throwing my toys out the pram. Arteta has done well this season. There's a lot of improvements. Today, he has not furthered his reputation. He needs to be a lot better than this in the big games away from home. Starting with Everton, obviously not a big game of this significance, but ultimately United, Everton, they're the sort of teams that we're going to be competing with to try and beat all of these teams to that 4th spot. So we need to go and win against Everton. Must win game. See you later.